Mustafa Abbas is an award-winning Emirati writer and director whose films have been screened in local as well as international film festivals. While his latest film, Sunset State, touches on issues that are rarely in the spotlight in the UAE, for Abbas it's all about delving into and understanding the human psyche. He is young, motivated, creative and loves to tell a good story. The perfect mix to become the next Martin Scorsese, perhaps? Well, only time will tell, but 29-year-old Mustafa Abbas is definitely starting his budding career in film on the right foot. His most recent film, Sunset State, was screened at the Dubai International Film Festival in December of 2013, and this year it was screened in the short film corner of the prestigious Cannes Film Festival. How important is it for your work to be well received, not only abroad, but also by your fellow peers here in the UAE?
I think the most important thing as a writer and director is to know your target audience. You can't just say, okay, I'm making a film, I hope people like it. No, you got to know who are you making this movie for. And you have to see if these people were satisfied, your target audience. So they could be, an international audience, they could be a national audience, could be anything.
When did you first know that you wanted to be a part of the film industry and start writing and directing your films?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's not an overnight decision. And I personally, that feeling is a process, it's like a journey. You keep feeling it more and more as time goes on. A big part of who you are gets invested in the industry and into films. So I guess I'm still getting in it more and more, You don't just wake up one day and decide to make movies. It comes to you gradually. It came to me gradually that you have to make movies or you'll go mad.
Sunset State is about two very different men, an American writer and an Emirati college student. Viewers are taken on a nostalgic journey into the past through their most inner feelings and come to the conclusion that both men have had very troubled lives and have faced challenging circumstances. Now, through the film's two central characters, you explore the issues of depression and suicide, which are rather touchy issues here in the UAE. Can you tell us how much research went into creating this movie beforehand, before you actually put pen to paper and started developing the characters and writing the script?
Well, look, for me, the most important thing why I make movies is because I'm fascinated by human nature. And the first rule in writing a script is that your protagonist, your main character, he has to change. Good has to become evil. Follower has to become leader. Dumb has to become intelligent. So what made me, what drew me to this concept or this story is that what would push a person to that state, Because at some point in everybody's life, I think everyone can feel those feelings, but acting on it, it's an entirely different thing. So I chose to make even though the theme is suicide, it's a movie more about life than it is about death.
Since its screening, what feedback have you received from the UAE community?
Oh, I'm very grateful for the feedback I've gotten. Even though, like you said, it's a sensitive topic, a lot of people were able to relate. Not necessarily because they've gone through dark times as these two have in the movie, but because I guess the movie spoke to a different range of audiences. So I'm very grateful for that.
As a filmmaker, Mustafa Abbas is very hands-on in all aspects of creating his films, having researched, written, edited and directed Sunset State. But the question remains, is there one thing he enjoys doing the most?
All of them. Because when you're writing it, you're seeing the movie in your mind. And when you're filming it, you're seeing it come to life in front of you. And then you take the footage and you put it in a computer to edit it, and you can see what you have. And then you choose the angles you want, you choose the takes you want, all of it. Well, I like that you mentioned research because it's a very important part of writing. Whether it's reading about it online or books, or whether it's meeting people who have gone through similar circumstances. I think writing it didn't take that long. Writing it didn't take that long. It took maybe a week or two. Filming it, it's a short film. It's 20 minutes. So filming it took 3 very long days, but very enjoyable days. I wasn't anxious or stressed, or I had a great time. What takes time is the post-production, the editing, the color correction. These things take time. So I think the whole thing took about, you can say, 3 to 4 months.
You have plans now to make your first feature film. Where are you in the development process, and do you think it's difficult to create commercial films here in the UAE?
We are in very early stages of production. You can say pre-production right now. But when it escalates, it comes pretty fast. So I don't think it's difficult to make commercial films here. I think it's just important for people to be able to work with restrictions. And I don't mean censorship by that. I mean to be able to work with a certain budget, a limited budget, or to be able to work with what they don't have. Because me, while I was growing up, while I was a teenager making films, that helped me a lot. Because we didn't have easy transport to get from one place to another place. We didn't have a lot of things. We didn't have a lot of costumes or props. So we had to work with what we didn't have. And that, I think, helped me grow personally. So if a person is realistic, I don't think it's a problem.
So how important is it for you to give your audiences stories that they can relate to and also reflect the culture here?
I mean, for me personally, as a filmmaker, I'm speaking for myself, I like to go deep into the character's mind and life. So myself, I'm not reflecting a culture or a nationality necessarily. I'm more telling you the story of these people and how they live and why they live the way they do, as opposed to a culture. I mean, that's just how I work.
I guess finally, do you think that there are enough avenues for emerging filmmakers to develop and grow here in the UAE? And what are the major challenges in the industry, do you think? I
mean, look, we have Dubai Film Festival, which is an international festival. We have Abu Dhabi, which is also an international film festival. We have SAE Institute, which is a film school in Dubai. You have New York Film Academy, which is in Abu Dhabi. So there's no excuse for someone who wants to make a movie to not make a movie. There are avenues, there is support. They just have to get up and do it.
Well, that brings us to the end of our program. If you would like to know more about any of the stories you have seen tonight, you can contact us at UAE Weekly at city7tv.com or by calling us on 04367 2230. From myself and the entire team, enjoy the rest of your week.